outside? Okay. 96 inches. Measure from the center of the front jack to the center of the rear wheel. Are you the center of the ball?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm as close as I can get.
Okay.
How many inches?
229. Where does the label face? So the label faces the passenger side, right? So we're putting it here, so the label will face the passenger side.
Gotcha.
Idle time until sleep. I really want it to run continuously. Ooh, let's do this. That works. Wake on motion.
Okay.
Level your RV using traditional leveling methods. And before we proceed to the next step, we both have to get out of the trailer. So now we need to step out. And now we're going to set. That was fast. It's like, yeah, it's level, cool. I thought that was going to be like a 5-minute thing.
It's like
I
all,
thought it was gonna be
all
like-
the heavyweights got out. We're good.
I was like, okay, we're gonna calibrate now. And it was just like, okay, done. Congratulations. Setup is now complete. And your LevelMate Pro is ready for use. Changes to any options are just... you can also relaunch the setup wizard. Cool. Show app tutorial. LevelMate Pro plus temperature. You can see the current temperature of the LevelMate Pro here. Oh, cool. LevelMate Pro is installed.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! That was fast. We just finished putting on the LevelMate Pro. So that's up there. We're actually going to run a USB over to the other side here. So it's just got continuous power. And that way we're not having to jump out of the truck every time we come. But we are moving on now to the TireMinder.
TireMinder TPMS.
I'm turning that on. So you can kind of see what that display looks like. And now we're going to grab the instruction manual.
That's a big
Because it's super exciting. Are you ready to read instructions with us? All right. So really what I wanted to look at was for install, initial setup. Prior to starting the initial setup, charge the i10. I did that. All right. This is used for RVs. The booster must be installed. So you don't have a choice. You must install the booster. So this is the booster here. So you get a hot wire and a neutral wire clip. So what we need to do is figure out where to install this. So I've got the battery compartment already open, but I want to see what they say. We've got the TireMinder. I'm going to grab this set of zip ties, which can be used to mount it, and we're going to walk outside. All right, so we've got a single battle born in here, and we need to connect this to a positive and a negative. I'm just taking a look at it for what we can use. I'm going to remove the propane tank on the passenger side. All right. So I'm removing that because I think I can use, if you come to this side, what I can do is mount it here and then run the wires up and through here. And I think that's what I'm gonna do. It's nice that they included some zip ties for it. Interesting that they included 4.
It's if you mess up or change your mind.
At which point I think I would just buy new zip ties. But I think this is gonna be a good option. And I sort of wish that I had brought a pair of like diagonal cutters. Now I just want to run under here. And then into battery compartment.
Oh, there's a hole right there.
Oh, cool.
It's like they knew you were gonna run more wires.
So those two alligator clips are good. So I'm gonna close this up for right now. And we're gonna go back to the manual to see what's next. That was the loudest bird ever.
Felt like it was over my head. Like it was gonna dive down at me.
Oh, so we should be able to see now. We need to go make sure it's powered on now. Do you want to go see if you can see the front of it? There should be a green light on it.
Yeah. I want to find out where that bird is. So there's a green light right here. It is powered on.
Okay. So I'm pulling out, these are each of the caps. I do think it's interesting they sent it with an extra battery, so I've already put batteries in, but they did send an extra battery for each one. This is it's a 1632. It's relatively common because we've got them in our house for other things. So now I'm going to turn this on, and it's telling me to see something like this. I think now we put these on, and as we put them on, it'll start giving us pressures. So since we've got this and we can walk around with it, even though it's hard to see with polarized sunglasses on, I'm gonna pull this first valve stem cap. I'm gonna put the first one on. And then interestingly, it's showing nothing at the moment. So I want to see an L in the center.
Okay.
So now I've got the L in the center. On the top left, you should see a blinking double dash.
Yep, that's here.
Oh.
It was there.
So what I'm trying to figure out, this is the current tire position. I feel like maybe having the batteries in here is making this harder because we don't know which one's which. So what I want to do is, I think for the trailer, I want to use these two outside ones here and the two outside ones here.
Okay.
So.
Well, we were putting it on this one, right?
Yep. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. So I'm on the back passenger side tire.
Okay. Sorry.
So that's where I want this first one to be. So I'm taking this battery out. I'm putting it back in, putting the cap on, and screwing it on here. When they give you a time limit, it makes it hard to do something. There we go. So now it's reading 82 PSI. So it's got that one programmed. So that one's programmed. All right, so let's try the next one, which will be right in front of that. Here, here, here. And I picked that one up. We're gonna jump to the other side of the trailer. Why don't you hold on to that? All right, do you wanna get it to the right position? So So this is left front. The battery's in. Cap is off. New cap is on.
80.
Cool. So that one worked. And then we're gonna go to this last one.
Do I have to set this?
Yeah, you gotta put it on the right one. So
How do I do that?
you use this. And go 2, 3, 4. So now I'm trying to set this last one. So interestingly, I've got these two functioning now.
This back tire.
So we're gonna go check that back one again. So this one here is not doing what we expected it to do. We're gonna pull the battery and we're gonna give it a minute. Okay. So I think we goofed something in the original setup. So we're gonna take this back inside for a second. You keep that. Give me the battery. So now I should be able to go out here, put in my battery, screw on my cap. And I'm guessing it just turned on, right?
Yep, it says 82.
Cool.
It's still flashing though.
Yep, that's fine. This thing is actually more frustrating than probably any technology I've used in a long time. So it's on now, and you can see, but it's now reading. So for some reason, it goes to this screen, which reads what I assume is 19 feet. And then back here, what's interesting is this is reading 64 degree or 64. So it's rotating between screens, but these two, the two front tires are reading 64 and 68 PSI, and the two rear tires are reading 80 plus. But when we put them on originally, they were reading like 82. So it's kind of interesting because there's no way they've lost that much tire pressure. There's no hissing or anything like that. They're just reading a much lower temperature. So it's kind of interesting. Oh no, I see what happened. So now it's on PSI.
Yep.
This is temperature. So these 4 tires are within a couple of feet of each other and they're reading significantly different temperatures. Yeah. So now it's back to PSI here. So what I want to figure out now is how do I make the screen do what I want it to do? Because this is like, it's almost too frustrating and I feel like you wouldn't know if something was wrong in the moment. Because it can monitor 10 tires at a time,
it's running through the gamut.
it's running through all. So this is the front, and so when we've programmed the front and it's going to the rear. So what I'd like to see is, can you just program it to say, I don't care about the rear because I don't have those. So we may have to go back and start fresh because the manual is written almost out of order, which is sort of interesting. So on this page here, there's multiple wheel layouts, and it kind of shows you how you can do it. But the way that I'm reading it now is, so it says multiple wheel layouts. So front section, rear section, and that says, essentially it says motorhome and tow car, 10 tires. Front section and rear section for a 5th wheel, which is really just 4 tires. But so it's giving you, it's still going to show you this front and rear, and then front and rear. So no, you don't have to start over. It's just going to cycle through them. So it's always going to cycle through what it's been doing for like the last 10 minutes now. Is it's going to cycle through your pressures here, and then it's going to cycle through these pressures, and then it's going to cycle through to the next one again. There's a couple of alerts here now that we don't have any alerts right now because we don't have any problems. But they have 5 alerts that they're looking for, and it's a rapid leak, a slow leak, a low pressure, a high pressure, and high temp. A rapid leak, it says, is going to warn you of loss of 3 PSI or more in less than 2 minutes. A slow leak is a pressure loss of 6 psi or more in 2 to 10 minutes, which sounds a lot like a rapid leak, because if I do the math on 6 and anyway, it's a slightly less rapid leak, I guess is my thought. Low pressure, which is 15% below the baseline, so our baselines are right now around 80 psi. A high pressure, which is a pressure increase of more than 20% of the baseline pressure. So I guess what they're calling out there is for the low pressure is it's a pressure loss. So while you're driving, it's going to go, hey, it's 80, it's 80 or 75, 70, whatever. And when you lose that 15%, which on 8 is 12%, 12 psi, so when you hit that 12 psi from the baseline, it's just going to say, hey, we didn't see a sustained leak. It just has been very slowly getting down to that 68 psi. And then the high pressure is 20% or more, which is interesting because that'll take you from 80 to 96 psi, but it doesn't warn you until 96 psi. And then high temp, so an internal tire temperature of 167 degrees Fahrenheit or more. So each of those warnings there's something on the screen that'll alert you of those. In the case of a leak, either a slow or a rapid leak, up here right above or right next to the battery monitor, it'll say leaking, and then low pressure or high pressure to the right. Install was slightly more of a pain in the neck than anticipated. I feel like the way that this was all written, it was like, put the battery in, screw it on, you're done. It was a little bit more pain in the butt than that. It wasn't super challenging, but I don't think it was quite as easy as anticipated. But that's where we're at. So that's all installed.
Mm-hmm. How long have you been in there? How long have you been watching me? So I think we can do it on like this wall, like you were saying, or even like you said up here.
So I think you and I have different priorities.
Where do you want to do it up top? That was fairly easy in the base camp.
You can.
So change of positions. We're gonna put it on the ceiling. God bless it.
Continue.
I can't continue. You have that thing in my face. So
Well, now it's in your face. There's so many spaces. I have no idea what we will ever do with them all. Presumably, we're going to measure this and see if we have space that we can use. Is that what you're going to measure?
yeah, we're gonna measure the inside cabinets because we do have some storage bins at the house, but then we also want to get some more because, like this one above the sink, things are kind of rolling around when we travel, so we want to make sure that we...
What she's saying is we don't have enough stuff in here.
We don't have enough stuff. I thought we had way too much. I thought we were gonna fill up way more of this when we moved everything over, and then I added 2 bins of stuff, and we just don't have anything.
The size of the base camp versus the size of this
is not even close.
Look at that. Nothing. This one's where the LevelMate is. Mostly nothing. There's an Apple TV in there, but mostly nothing. This one I believe has nothing. So one thing on there and nothing up there. This has a microwave in it,
Which is pretty cool.
which is fine. And then this one that's got popcorn and bowls and some things, but still not full. Not full. Nothing. And this has got 2 sides, so still nothing.
Okay, back to this light.
Oh, back to the light.
So we did the same thing in the base camp. I took a magic marker and colored this red because you can see it whenever at night you can see. And when you go to turn it on, you have to hit that dot so that it does come on. And to turn it off.
Interestingly, you could not even see that it was on.
So is it so bright?
Yeah, it's bright enough in here. No,
There.
still no.
Okay.
Well, you could
A
see it.
little
That
bit.
time you could see it.
So it worked well on the ceiling. We're gonna do that again. So we're gonna put the red dot facing us, and then do you think like right here?
I think that works.
All right. So we're gonna stick this bad boy here,
It's a bad boy.
and then it's held on by command strips. And then whenever you're at night, instead of turning all the lights on, it's just a really small light. Ta-da!
These are just holding pillows, and so is the bed. 1,000,000 pillows. We have 1,000,000 pillows in here. Sorry, we don't have 1,000,000. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13. 14, 15, 16. Hold on. That's 16 pillows plus
Oh, we have two in here.
this one would be 17. And then that one would be 18. We have almost as many pillows as we have feet of the trailer.